Now this fire that comes over our heart, it is a fire that many waters cannot quench. Rivers of pain and persecution will never extinguish this flame. Throughout church history, the lovers of God gave themselves completely and forever to Him. I wish that every believer would study the life of Polycarp. Polycarp was a disciple of John, the apostle. And Polycarp was in Smyrna, Izmir, Turkey. And he was such a revered leader. But the emperor wanted to snuff out this Christian movement, so he decided to go after the leaders. And the leader at that time, John, had already passed away in Ephesus, so the leader would have been Polycarp. He was the one with the most notoriety. Polycarp was 80s. He was in his 80s, all right? He was so godly and pure. He loved the Lord so intensely. He was a Shulamite with the seal of fire over his heart. Polycarp had a dream, and in the dream, his pillow turned into flame. And he knew the next day, he told his disciples, he says, I'm going to be burned at the stake. And he knew it was coming. He knew the day. And the soldiers of Rome raced to his house to arrest him, only to find that he'd already prepared dinner for them. And he said, I'll go with you, don't worry, but first have dinner. I prepared dinner for you. They were so amazed. They enjoyed his hospitality. And before he left, Polycarp said, I only have one request. Would you let me pray for 1 hour? Would you let me just be alone with Jesus for 1 hour? Well, 1 hour became 2. They let him do it. And for 2 hours, they said, he prayed so passionately, they heard him throughout the house. He was so passionate in his love and longing for Jesus. The soldiers were so moved. They said to each other, how can we arrest someone so godly as he? But they knew it would be their demise if they did not. So they took Polycarp to be killed. The next day, to burn him at the stake, tied him there. They lit the fire, and those watching, it's an attested fact in church history, they said that the flame arched around him like a bow and would not touch him. He was not even scorched. The fire, everybody watched it as though an invisible hand kept the flame off of him. The emperor was so distraught by what he saw, he told one of his soldiers to take a long lance and pierce him, stick it through the flame and pierce him through. Well, he did, and stabbed godly Polycarp with this massive wound. And out of the wound flew a dove in front of everybody. A dove came right out of inside of him from his wound. And blood poured out of him so much that it extinguished all the flames. He went down in history as one of the most godly men in the church of Jesus Christ. He was a lover of God. This passion cannot be put out. Death itself cannot extinguish this flame. Many rivers could not put it out. Your family thinks you're wacky. Persecution cannot put out this fire. Rejection, pain, grief, loss, nothing can put out this flame. We really should have a sticker on the cover of the Song of Songs, a caution sticker. This may lead to your martyrdom. Because when the tractor beam of love latches onto you, nothing is going to put out that fire. Believe me when I say it. You're stuck now. You're ruined. You can't go back to cranky Christianity. You can't go back to a loveless life. You just can't. Your hands are going to burn with fire when you get around the sick. You got to pray over them to release the glory. As you dry the tears of others, you're going to be a comforter, a blessing, a strength. Nothing is going to extinguish that fire. Beloved, you are going to leave from this course, and those watching online, you're going to become a living sacrifice, a lover, a Shulamite, a living martyr. You're going to, wherever you go, release this love theology.